After, of course, once he joined me, he shared with me that I joined you, doctor, with a salary of X amount less. But I joined you with only one particular reason. The moment my interview was over, and every day night, I got a WhatsApp message from your side, and you started building connection with me from that day. So that appeal forced me to join you, despite of getting me some other options and offers. So it's a very constructive way if you can use the internet in a product.
Excellent,
I
excellent.
think just
Anyone else on using WhatsApp?
Part of his point that it has made it reaching out a wider audience in a shorter way. Like I can write one email and push that to other people.
Of
It may
course.
not make me lazy, but definitely in terms of recruitment for sure, I can reach out to a wider audience.
And the negative side, if he permits, I would share is the near one gets far and the far one gets near. So it's up to you. It's up to you.
Fantastic, fantastic. So just to sum up it, definitely all of us, we cannot live without it. It's become a part of our life. We start our day, we end our day with it. And definitely even the people that we are targeting on social media, it's the same lifestyle. So we just need to know how we're able to reach out to them in the right way. Few stats, 1/3 of the world's population is on the internet, and every second almost 8 new people are coming on the internet. And this is always, it's growing. And in fact, if you think about it, even, I'm coming from India, so, there's 4G penetration into rural, sectors. The first thing that people do is they have, very economical smartphones now, WhatsApp, and Facebook. They're like the first natural thing that people do. So this is becoming, a part of our lives. You cannot live without it. And I just want to give you all a donut example. I hope all of you have had something to eat because I want to give you the example for donut to explain to you how each social media platform is slightly different from the other. Okay, we are talking about recruitment, definitely LinkedIn is the main, but I just want you to understand how each is different from the other. So Twitter is more about short messages, and it's all about hashtags, where it's all about trends. So it's like I'm eating a hashtag donut. So if anyone clicks on the hashtag donut, you can see all the different tweets related to the donuts. Okay, so. Okay, how many in this room are not that active on Twitter? Maybe you have your accounts open but not very active on Twitter. Yeah, so most people, I get the same response. You have your accounts open but you're not very savvy as much as Facebook. So Facebook is all about likes. So you can just try it out, you go and eat donut in Dunkin' Donuts and see what happens. You put a picture out there, you'll see a lot of people liking it. Okay, how many in this room have never heard of Foursquare before? Yeah, quite a few of you. Foursquare is a social network which is location based. In fact, Facebook got the idea of the check-in button by seeing the growth of Foursquare. Foursquare is still big, and it's great for local businesses, those where you want to check into a place and you can actually get rewards and things like that. So Instagram has been bought over by Facebook. So here's a vintage photo of my donut. So you got these different cool filters. So you can take a picture of the donut and put it up there. And in fact, you can connect Instagram and Facebook. So every time you post, it even goes in your Facebook feed. Okay, YouTube is, here I am eating a donut. You actually have a video of yourself eating the donut. Okay. So it's a different kind of a social network. Now coming to LinkedIn, it's all about skills, right? My skills include eating donuts. It's a professional network. I think about it like this. LinkedIn is like office and Facebook is like home. So, in LinkedIn, you want to talk more about your skills and what you're good in your experience in your work and things like that. That's why it's great for recruiters to also go and do a check on the background and stuff. But having said that, you also want to go and see around their home area how their personal life also is. So that's where Facebook comes in. And normally, most of us, we don't use Facebook or we don't connect with people on Facebook that we don't know. We would like to keep it to our close friends, people that we have met, our family and friends. And I'm sure many of you have found your school friends, college friends after many, many years, 10 years, 15 years, you have connected with them on Facebook. So Facebook is a very different type of platform. LinkedIn is more about skills. Okay, Pinterest. How many of you have never heard of Pinterest before? Okay, just one person, okay. 3 of you, okay. So Pinterest is a fast-growing social network. It's all about pinning up your interests based on different boards, and you can actually link an image to your website. Okay, so you can link it back to a blog, you can link it back to any particular page on your website, and it's a great source for referral traffic. And interestingly, more than 80% of Pinterest users or active users are women. Okay, so if you're targeting women, if you're having products that are more visual, it's a great platform to be on. Last FM is for musicians. I'm a musician, so I also put my music up on SoundCloud, which is a great platform where I can get others to comment on song, like the song, and share it also. Anyway, the last one is just a joke. It says I'm a Google employee who eats donuts, because Google employees spend a lot of time on Google Plus. So, but having said that, Google is a very important social network as far as search engine optimization and all of that is concerned. Okay, so these are the different social media platforms. And as a recruiter, you can actually keep your minds open on understanding. Okay, you may look at a great profile on LinkedIn, for example, but you may want to go and check on the other places on how how they're doing elsewhere. Because there was a very interesting point which Eric Schmidt, the CEO, ex-CEO of Google, he was mentioning that the way things are going on social media right now, by the time a person goes through college, and starts to look for a job, they may need to change their names. Okay? With all the stuff that they would have put on social media before that.
Exactly.
Okay. So that's why there's a flip side to the whole social media game. So as a recruiter, this is one thing which I would recommend that you can keep in mind to just see even the other different platforms out there. Okay, open question to you all. What do you do most online every day? Besides your work, let's say you're spending maybe 3-4 hours online. What do you do most online?
Of course, emails is the first.
You check your emails. Anything else?
Google search and then LinkedIn.
You search for all stuff on Google. Spend time on LinkedIn. Anything else? Looking for jobs. Okay. Profiles.
Making opinions.
Opinions.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? What else do we do most? Reading the news online. Yes. Do you read the newspaper anymore? It's all online. Yeah. Or flipboards. You got flipboards and you just read what you want. Just read articles online.
Watch video explanations of certain things.
Video explanations on YouTube and other different platforms. So I have a stat which I want to share with you. It's a worldwide aggregate. The number one activity on the web is social media right now. Okay, an average of 4.6 hours a week, which is very less. This is like a worldwide aggregate. So many of us spend much more time with that. The second most, time spent on is email. Then you've got watching videos, then gaming, browsing, shopping, and of course the news. These are different activities that normally people do on.
WhatsApp will come under which category?
WhatsApp is a completely new category right now. That's like we're always plugged in. There's no, we are like on 24/7.
Maybe the bar for WhatsApp would have exceeded
Somewhere above
the
this,
exceeded
yeah.
the limit.
So this is actually many of these stats you can get on this website called socialmediaexaminer.com. It's a very good resource if you want to understand where things are going in the social media world also. So very good articles keep coming up there.
What is the website?
Socialmediaexaminer.com.
Examiner.
Examiner. Okay. So there are many different platforms that are there right now in the social media space, but the top ones are definitely Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, blogging, YouTube. And there are many other smaller social media platforms that are coming up. Like, for example, any of you have heard of this social network called Quora, Quora? Yeah?
Yeah.
So it's great. It's like a question answer. You can actually go and find a lot of interesting people there who are subject matter experts. So like I said, there are many niche social platforms that are also coming up, which can also be useful as a recruiter. If you want to go and find the right person, you can also look into those forums to find out subject matter experts. Those who have good knowledge on specific topics and how they respond. You can be able to gauge their expertise also. Okay, so let's see, why should every business care about social media? Okay, when it comes to recruitment, I just picked up a few, like 9 benefits of recruiting using social media. One is you can do a lot of geo-targeted search, location-based, city-wise. You can narrow down to that. Number 2 is you can quickly find the right candidate. If a name has popped up, you can actually go and quickly look up and find out who they are, what they do, and so the access to information is very fast. Number 3 is you reduce your cost per hire. We had an example right here in the room. Your cost per hire came down drastically by you doing it yourself rather than going through a consultancy, for example. Freshers now are extremely active on social media. As soon as they finish their courses, they go and register up, and they even on their status is like looking for an opening and things like that. So especially the new people are getting into social media, they're very active. Number 5 is you can actually streamline your candidate experience through social media, like on different platforms, the messaging that's there, where you're going to send them, maybe a recruitment portal and things like that. You can actually streamline the experience of a candidate who wants to actually apply to a company. I'm sure you all have your own system on on how you're collecting the applications and things like that, right? Number 6 is you can actually increase your employer's brand visibility also. It's actually going to help in the marketing also of the brand. Social media actually allows you to reach a lot of passive candidates. Any of you in this room have actually reached out to passive candidates?
Yeah, almost all the time. I mean,
All the time. Yeah.
all the time.
They are not looking for a job, but they're able to find them, and headhunting is all about that, right? Then 8 is you can actually get more acceptance, and of course, the future of recruitment is more heading into this direction right now versus traditional means. And I'm going to share with you a few resources. I've also been learning about this from a few experts in the social media recruitment space. And I'm going to share with you a few videos after this, just to give you some black belt recruitment techniques. Okay, like some hacks which are there on LinkedIn, which I'm going to show you off. So the fact is, social media has real business value if done the right way, especially when it comes to recruitment. And how much time do you really need to spend on social media? You can actually think about it. Okay, as a marketer, if you're promoting your brand or your business, maybe you're an hour a day, 2 hours a day. But if you're a recruiter, you need to spend much more time. You need to spend more time in the research. And then in the filtering bit, I'm sure you spend a lot of time actually going the first level, second level, third level, and then shortlisting who exactly you want to get in touch. Okay. So now let's look at what makes a modern recruiter today. I actually picked up this video from, it's quite an interesting video which I got from LinkedIn. And these are some of the veterans in the HR space who speak about how things are changing. Okay.
In the past, recruiters were salespeople. They were used car salesmen. There's a lot of things about the way the recruiting in the industry started. It was not the internal corporate professional job. It was just not.
Very marketing focused. I mean, these are things I've been saying for years, but I think a recruiter needs to come with just a recruiting skill set. They need to have a key marketing mindset. They've got to be research orientated.
I think it's about thinking differently and really thinking what you can do differently that other companies don't do. It's about embracing change. It's about being extremely business savvy because at the end of the day, it's all about the business.
In addition to that, I think they need to be kind of communications focused or corporate affairs focused, because they need to have that kind of branding mindset, but also be the voice for the company.
Modern recruiters are what I call partners. I want, and I tell this to my teams, that I want them to be partners to their customers. I view that hiring managers are their customers, and recruiters are their business partners that enable business success for this customer.
It's kind of a jack of all trades. You also need to be marketing, you also need to be sales, you need to be analytics. So it's kind of the new future of recruitment.
Yeah. So did any of you pick any buzzwords which you were mentioning here? What should a modern recruiter have as skills?
Jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades. Okay.
Business partner.
So what are the traits? Yeah. Business partner.
Researcher.
Marketing. A combination of marketing, research, and sales. The ability to communicate and also such. This is like the skill set that has to be there. Just a remark, put all this together. And they have to be social media savvy also. It's a combination of all of this that what makes a true modern recruiter of today. Okay. So how does social media recruitment really works? It starts with the planning. I'm sure many of you are doing this. You know what are your top positions that are need to be filled, and then you actually go drilling down into understanding who's the ideal person, location, gender, demographics, their occupation, interest, location. There are so many different ways that you can actually zero down to that person. Okay, so I want to just take you through a video. Before that, I'll just share this with you. Normally, when we do anything on social media, we actually set up a 3 to a 12-month strategic plan. Okay. And a strategic plan will involve like 4 stages of the funnel. Okay. So the first part of the funnel is more about the traffic. Like somebody was mentioning, how do I get more traffic to our website or to our the recruitment portal, for example. So social media actually is one piece of the big puzzle. I want to just I just want to tell you the big picture so that you understand. It's not just about social media. There are a few things that have to be in place before you do anything on social media. Okay. So social media, blogging, and SEO, all this is the first part of the funnel. The next part of the funnel is you need to actually have a content marketing plan on how you can attract those right candidates. You need to have a few, plans on even the call to action and a landing page. Because normally when you do anything on social media, you need to send them somewhere. So don't send them to the home page of your website or just to the career portal. You can even have specific landing pages designed for specific positions also, or a recruitment page on social media. So all this will be coming as a part of the second part of the funnel, which is to generate leads or the right inquiries coming in. The next one is the lead nurturing plan, lead intelligence, email marketing. So once you are having people on your list, you can actually correspond with them on the list, and then this is where the filtering process starts. And of course, the last part is to track all the analysis to see how many people have actually viewed your post, how many have clicked on your links, how many have come to the website, how many have inquired, or how many profiles have actually submitted their information, and then zeroing it down to how many positions have been closed. So this entire cycle has to be measured, and if only these platforms are in place, you do anything on social media. So I just want to the same principles apply even in marketing for business. We don't do any post on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter for say generating leads unless we have the website in place, unless we have the landing pages in place, and unless we have the reporting systems in place. Only then we can measure what's done. Okay. So the success formula is to know who's your ideal candidate. Two is to do some in-depth research. In the next video, I'm going to share with you a few techniques on research, because the research can be approached in so many different ways. There's so much of information out there. And then connect with them on social media, building a rapport, and then hire. So I'm sure this is the way that many of the modern recruiters are doing right now. Okay. So let's just get into LinkedIn, because we're going to spend a little bit more time on this. So as all of you know, 300 million people on LinkedIn. Demographics between male and female are also equalizing right now. Top industries, if you see, 5 years ago, IT services, computer software, financial services, marketing, advertising, and telecom were like the top industries of people registering on LinkedIn. If you see today, again, IT services is still number 1. There's hospital and healthcare that's coming up the big way. Construction is number 3 right now. Education management and accounting. So these are like some of the other industries that are coming up. You have something to say?
Yeah, in your previous slide you mentioned that there are a lot of new entrants.
Percentage of decision makers versus freshers. Okay. So again, 5 years ago, the top countries were US, Great Britain, India, Canada, Netherlands in terms of population on LinkedIn. Now if you see, again, US is still number 1, India is number 2. You have Brazil, Great Britain, and Canada also coming up. So this is like the maximum population on LinkedIn from the respective countries. So this is the slide that you're asking for. So if you look at this slide, 52% of LinkedIn are freshers. 48% are decision makers, either senior level management or director, VP, CXO, partners, owners. This is like the current. I picked up this stat I think a couple of weeks back from Social Media Examiner. You can actually search for this slide. Okay. So now LinkedIn works on the concept of 6 degrees of separation. Can any of you tell me what that means? Exactly. So you can reach out to anyone. There's only going to be 6 bridges between you and that person. Okay. So LinkedIn works on the same principle, but at 3 levels. So that's why you get to see your connections, your second degree connection, and then you have your third degree connection as well. So some of you might have noticed in your LinkedIn connections it says you have 500 connections, but you have a potential to connect with 10 million people. How many of you have seen that? You logged in into your home page on LinkedIn. This is the number. So it says your first degree connections is 500, but then it will give you an opportunity to connect at the second and third degree. So how do you really use LinkedIn for recruitment? One is to find the right people, which anyway all of you are doing. The other way is also to be found by the right people. Like how do you position yourself on LinkedIn in such a way that if anyone searches for anything related to your industry, you should be on the first page, ideally in the top 3 ranks. Okay? And I'm going to show you a hack now on how you can work your way up in your industry to the first page of LinkedIn. Okay. So all of you know this. You can search for people by position or designation. You can search for people by company name. or you can even search for a person by their name and then zero down to who you want. It's literally the three different ways we can do things on LinkedIn. So if I want to get connected to James Hicks on LinkedIn, I'll know, I get to see from my first degree connections who's already connected to James, and I have an opportunity to ask an introduction. Maybe I can send an information to Bijal, my friend, and say, hey Bijal, can you connect me with James? I see there's some potential between us. So the other thing on LinkedIn is you can actually know what's your skills and expertise that are common, and usually that's a very, very good idea for you to even open up a conversation with someone. So let's say, for example, if I were to get connected with James, and if one of our skills and expertise is, say, social media on this list, because I'm in social media, that's why probably it's one of those common interests. So my opening message to James would be something like, hey James, I checked out your profile, it seemed quite interesting, and I see you have an interest in social media too. So what do you do? So it's more like an open-ended question, which is building a rapport first. It's nothing to sell myself all about. It's going to create a curiosity for him to come and see what I am all about. But the question is more to do with building a rapport first. So LinkedIn is a great networking platform to build rapport with new people. Yeah. And normally I use interest to open up a conversation. So building your personal brand on LinkedIn follows the three-step process. Now, the first part of LinkedIn, I want to talk about how to build your presence strong on LinkedIn. Then we can look for the next stage, which is the recruitment and the searching for the right people on LinkedIn. So the first thing on LinkedIn is visibility. Visibility is search. If anyone searches for your industry, are you showing up in search results? That is one aspect of visibility. And the second aspect of visibility is updates. What are you posting on LinkedIn every day? Are you just posting job openings, or are you even giving value to your community and your network? It has to be you have to mix it up. You cannot always keep only posting one type of message. It has to be a mix of different messages, so that ultimately people should recognize you or know you for your industry, and you should be like an influencer in your own field, like a thought leader in your own field. Number two is the credibility aspect, which is you have recommendations and endorsements. Okay, I don't give a lot of weightage to endorsements because you can just click and you can endorse anyone for anything. But having said that, endorsements do have a part to play in your search engine rankings on LinkedIn. So if a lot of people endorse you for, say, executive search, then if anyone types for executive search expert on LinkedIn, you will show up in the LinkedIn search on the first page. So you need to have a lot of endorsements also, which builds credibility. But recommendations is key. So if you have more and more people talking about you and the kind of services that you've done and your experience in this field, that's going to add value to what were new connections that you're trying to make on LinkedIn. And only then comes the third step, which is the profitability, where you're networking and connecting with people, all that comes into play. Okay, so it's a three-step process: visibility, credibility, and then profitability. Okay. So now let's look at it. There are three critical success factors when it comes to your personal LinkedIn profile. 25% of your success depends upon how well your profile is optimized. Do you have a decent photograph? Have you put all the relevant information on your description, in your summary, and all of that? Okay. 50% of your success depends on the network. Are you constantly growing your network on LinkedIn? Individually, personally, as your personal profile? I'm not talking about company page and things like that. I'm just talking about your personal profile. And 25% of your success depends upon your activities on LinkedIn. What do you post on a day-to-day basis? Okay. So let's go online. I'm just going to go to my LinkedIn profile and just give you an example of how you can, come on the first page. Okay, I'm on my LinkedIn homepage right now. And if I just search here, just a basic search for, say, social media expert, okay? To my network, I'm the first page, first rank. Okay, first page, first rank. And if I, out of 11,000 search results. Now if you put something else, say like blogging expert, space there. So again, I'm in the first page, second rank. So what I did was, I actually made a list of different keywords and key phrases with respect to my industry which I'm in. Okay? And I've used all of them in my profile when I optimize them. Okay? So let me just show you how you can also do this for your own, business or whatever, company that you're representing also. So if you look at this, I could have put myself as co-founder of Scion Social, but I know no one is going to search for Scion Social. No one cares about the company, to be frank here. So the first thing I did was, in this description, I added the specific words that people would type into the search engine to find me. Internet marketing and social media expert. And I would want to be found for that. So you can all think about yourself, what would you like people to find you for? And I'm sure as a recruiter, you definitely will find a lot of people giving you requests. Because many people are looking for jobs and they want to get connected with recruiters. So you just think about what level, in case you are, say, recruiting in the executive search or only high level, top level positions, then you can have a description there, something like expert in executive search and selection or whatever. You can use those buzzwords related to the role that you're playing in the organization. So that's the first tip that I can give. Okay. Now if you scroll down, the summary, let me just view profile as this. So if you look at the summary here, I've written my summary in a little bit of a conversational way. And I want to write the summary in such a way that I can attract my target audience. So for example, are you into sales, business development, or entrepreneur? If then I can help you. So it's all about the intention to help the other person on LinkedIn. And if somebody is not following this category, they would not want to read further. But if they are an entrepreneur, and they will want to read further. Okay. Now in my summary, you can just see that I've given a little bit about my experience, and I've actually used a lot of buzzwords. Things like search engine optimization, social networking, traffic building, public relations, e-commerce, conversion, analytics. I actually sat down and wrote down all the possible terminologies and words related to the industry that I'm in, and I put them into this summary. It's a very conscious, strategic summary. It seems like I've just written, but I've done a lot of prep before that. Okay, and then a little bit about the experience, and I've actually repeated all those keywords once again as bullet points. Okay, I can assure you all, if you just copy my same format, replace it with your information, add all your keywords, within the next 10-15 days, you will show up on the first page of LinkedIn. Because this is like a template which I normally give out to all the people who attend my workshop, and then in 10 days, 15 days, they're able to rank quickly. Again, it depends on the competition in the space, but if somebody, if anyone follows this structure of optimizing a summary, you can start to be found on LinkedIn on the first page. Okay. So, are all of you with me? Yeah? Great.
Can I ask a few questions?
Sure.
So is this really, so the business logic, while if we type the word, will this really search the keyword, or it will search the people in your first connection first and then subsequently?
First connection first.
Yeah, because I just did. So you searched your name, social media expert, and it
Yes.
came first. But when I searched for same keyword, my first connections were appearing first, and then second
Exactly.
connections name.
So this is for my first degree connections. I have like 3,500 times first degree connections.
Okay.
That is why once you optimize and then you keep building your network, then
Then of course, yeah,
then you
it
start
will.
getting more.
Correct,
So
correct.
that's the logic behind this. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Now other thing is, how many of you all in this room did not know that you can actually add videos into your LinkedIn profile? And if you did not know about that, you can actually add videos into your LinkedIn profile. Okay. How many of you have videos in your LinkedIn personal profile? Anyone? Okay. I think you all can include that. Let's say you want to talk about your your role in the organization. For example, I have a video about myself. I also have a video about why I started this company. Okay. So think about it as a recruiter. You can think about so many different ways that you can attract the right candidate. Maybe a company, a corporate video can also be placed in there, or what the mission is all about, what the work culture is all about. There are so many ways, creative ways to attract the right person in there. So you can have videos in there. You can also have links to SlideShare. You can have a business. Let's say there's a current opening right now, and you want to give a description of what's required. You can put a SlideShare and also link that into your personal profile. Okay. So this is another way to optimize your LinkedIn profile. And of course, you can give more details about what we do. So I have a lot of videos, a lot of description. So what happens is, when you're actually building your network on LinkedIn, when people come and see your profile, when they see it's a rich profile with a lot of videos and a lot of content, they already know what you're doing. And if they message you, it is not about what you do. It's about how you can move to the next level. Because they've already seen your videos, they've already seen your content. Okay. So, how many of you in this room don't have your profiles optimized like this? How many of you? Okay, I think let it be the first step. Because as a recruiter, you also want to look, you have to look, complete, let your profile also be 100%. And if you log into your LinkedIn profile, you will see on the right side here, let's go back to the home page. So when you're in edit mode, it will give you your profile strength here. Make sure it's 100%. Let that be your goal when you log into your LinkedIn profile next. Okay. Then whatever you do after this on LinkedIn will actually have an effect, and your profile will also be complete in that way. So now let's go to the next step. I want to talk about, yes.
My question is related to the profile pic. I mean,
Yes.
some people recommend that it has to be a formal sort of a pic. Some people say that it can be a cool pic, like the way you have done.
Yeah.
And I have seen people who have placed pics of their children and
Yes.
with the family and all that stuff. So, what is the right thing to do in that space?
It's a good question. Like I said, LinkedIn is like office. So how would you dress in office? That's the way you should represent yourself. Since I'm a social media company, I dress casual in office. So I've created that casual tone a little bit in all my social media presence. But definitely, if you're in a senior role and stuff, it's good to have like an official pic.
Very
Facebook is casual, LinkedIn is office. Okay.
That one more thing, like when
Yes.
you're saying the profile has to be according to the nature of your job.
Yeah.
Now, if you see the way we have been doing is okay, possibly you have had different jobs and then what you do, like it's CV.
Yes.
But now it's like you are presenting the what are you doing in the office should come on the LinkedIn page.
Correct.
So is it that we should have two profiles in LinkedIn, one which is your resume related and one which is a SEO
Very
related?
good question again. See, I would recommend you go with one profile only, because when you search, when anyone searches for your name, if you find a duplicate, then people get confused.
Exactly, yeah.
Because you search for your name, you're on the first page, and ideally LinkedIn shows up on the search results. So I recommend that you have just one profile. Talk about your experience in the past, like regular CV format. But if your specific job description right now, or your role right now is more to do with recruitment and things like that, then you mention that in the summary. You mention more like how you're talking to your ideal candidate or your ideal business connection.
So this part will keep on changing depending upon the change in your
keep on
profile.
changing based on your role. So that's why the summary is very important for the search results also. Okay. Any other questions? Yes.
I'm not sure if you're going to cover that later. So
Yes.
I can ask that, but this is related to, I think, a couple of slides earlier where you talked about job postings and your landing page.
Right.
So would you be covering that a little more?
I won't be going in depth, but you can ask me.
No, just so that we have our own recruitment side. Like when
Yes.
So let's say when you log in, see careers page.
Yes.
Or we'll put up an ad in like Facebook saying that if you have a senior VP position, please click here to go.
Correct.
That's what it is. What do you mean by having more? I mean, you have a JD, right? Like click on it and then you go on the.
Yes. What I meant by that, you send them to the specific page of where the job description is.
Right, the JD. So we
Yes.
connect that to JD.
Perfect,
That's,
perfect.
That's more.
That's the way to go about it. That's what the landing page is. A landing page is a place where you're collecting the lead.
Right.
Okay, don't send them to a home page.
No.
Or don't send them to
No,
a list of no options. The right person to the right
One
page.
click, yes.
One click, exactly. That's what I meant. Okay. Okay, any of you in this room are using LinkedIn Recruiter? Only one person. So I presume, how many of you have been thinking about it, but feel okay, maybe it's too expensive or anything? Yeah. Okay, so I just want to play a short video on LinkedIn Recruiter and the power of the platform, because it is powerful. I recommended this to a couple of executive search companies. They've been able to get some good results using this. Okay, so just check this video out.
With LinkedIn Recruiter, find, manage and engage the best passive talent on the world's largest professional network. Let's say you're searching for a marketing manager. From the 7 million results, narrow them down to the most relevant candidates using a few of Recruiter's powerful search filters. In this example, you're looking for a candidate located in Brazil with industry experience in pharmaceuticals. In the Locations filter, select Brazil. And in the industry filter, select pharmaceuticals. Now you've quickly honed in on just over 2,700 results. But let's say you want to refine it even further. By using the past company filter, you can target prospects with a very specific background. Finally, in the years of experience filter, identify the experienced marketing managers by selecting 6 to 10 years and more than 10 years. Now you have a highly targeted group of 31 prospects. So let's add a tag to all of them to highlight one or many skills or attributes that are unique to this group. Select all and add a tag. You could add a new custom tag or take a shortcut. Tags can be pre-populated to meet the specific needs of your team. A drop-down menu automatically appears, so you're able to tag all of these prospects with digital marketing. Now, assign these prospects a source to easily keep track of where you found them. Just like tags, sources are fully customizable, and since Recruiter makes it easy for you to import bulk contacts from external sources, such as a conference or referral program, you can use Recruiter as your one-stop shop for all potential candidates. In this case, you found them via a search in Recruiter. To stay organized and save your hard work, you can save these prospects in a project folder. Either save them in a previously created project, or, since you just started your search, create a new project. Add a relevant title, in this case, Marketing Manager Brazil Pharma, and share it with your team. Recruiter makes it easy for you to track the progress of all of your prospects. Give them an initial status, not yet contacted, as you add them to this new project. All the detail you've added is now front and center on their profiles. Now that you've saved your project, you can quickly access it at any time in the navigation bar. Here, on the Project Overview page, take a quick glimpse at project activity, including the status of all prospects and the tags you've assigned them. You can also add more detail to the project, including a project description, links to other sites, and relevant files. Since you have a job description for this project, you can upload and save it right here. Choose the correct file and import it. Since you're sharing this project with the team, your colleagues benefit from seeing all this information right in Recruiter. Now you're ready to reach out to this targeted group of prospects. Engage them by sending a trusted in-mail. Since you're reaching out for the first time, you can select Conversation Starter, one of your previously saved custom templates. When you do, you'll notice that the subject and body copy are automatically populated for you. You never have to type an in-mail twice. Now, just attach the correct job description and you're ready to send your email. After a day or two, let's say that you received 8 responses. Take a look in your inbox. Start from the top with Pedro Oliveira's reply. Good news, he's interested. So you can change his status from contacted to prospect interested. In his reply, Pedro specifies that he's available at 10 a.m. on Tuesday. So you can quickly add a note and set a reminder for yourself, which will automatically appear in your to-do list. Now you'd like to take a deeper look at his background. On Pedro's profile page, you have access to his full profile. He looks like a strong prospect, so activate Update Me, and anytime he updates his profile, you'll be notified right on your Recruiter homepage. You can also view all the activity that your team has had with Pedro. Here's the to-do item, the in-mail you recently sent, and an encouraging comment from a colleague. Your initial search for Marketing Manager in Brazil with Pharmaceutical Experience has yielded positive results. You can save this search, and Recruiter will do the rest of the work for you by monitoring new matches to this exact search criteria and sending the new profiles right to your homepage and inbox. It's a great time saver. Now you can go to reports to see how your talent acquisition team is performing. Take a look at Pipeline Analytics first. Here you can see which prospect sources are yielding the best results, and also view the health and efficiency of your pipeline by analyzing prospect status data. Lastly, take a look at how your in-mails are performing. You can see how many in-mails your team is sending and the response rate from candidates. Back on your homepage, you can see that Recruiter is hard at work, sending you saved search results for the Brazilian Marketing Manager position and tracking profiles you're following, like Pedro's. In a few simple steps, Recruiter enables you to search across millions of professionals on LinkedIn, organize and manage them in collaborative project folders, and build lasting relationships with top talent. Learn more at talent.linkedin.com.
So how many of you knew that or did not know that Recruiter does all these things?
So last few things, I mean, I've used it
Yeah.
extensively, but last few things, specifically, specific drill down as well as the classifying
Yes.
and pulling the reports, etc. I've never used
You've
it.
not used yet.
Yeah.
So it's actually very powerful. They've also, evolved over what it used to be even a year back. You've seen LinkedIn also has been through its changes over the last
Refinements,
few years. So
yeah.
they've actually refined. I think they need to watch it a little bit. One second. Yeah, much better. So LinkedIn Recruiter right now is probably one of the most powerful tools, especially as a team. So you would like to share your experience. How has it been using LinkedIn Recruiter as a team? Are you all doing this as a group? Or is it just individual?
Well, actually, I'm very new with the resourcing. I'm actually
Okay.
helping them for the past 2 weeks.
Right.
And recently, I just attended the briefing on the LinkedIn.
Okay.
And what would be the difference between having the personal profile and a recruiter profile?
Okay.
So basically, if you have a LinkedIn personal profile, once you search for a particular person and you view their profile, that person get to know that you are viewing them. But
Yes.
having the recruiter access, so no one will get to know that you are searching for them. You can do anything about their profile. You
It's
can
in
save
stealth
them,
mode,
you can
yeah.
share it. So things like that. And it's quite difficult to use as a first timer. But then if you get used to it on a daily basis, then it really helps. You can create a project, you can group them together. So things like that. It makes your world just easy as a recruiter.
Excellent, excellent. Good. So that's good to know. So all of you are getting some idea, right? So LinkedIn Recruiter is powerful. I would recommend you even just take a test account. They have a 30-day trial. Just go with it. Take just a single account. See how you're able to do everything through that one. If you're able to find the right profiles and using the saved searches and the template job description. So you may need to spend some time on creating those templates. The conversation starters. They have, once you have that as a process defined, then it becomes much easier. Okay. And then you just need to train it at an organizational level for everyone to use that system. So now I just want to talk about another thing here. How many of you have used Boolean search on LinkedIn? Or how many of you have never used Boolean search before? Never used Boolean, okay? Now this is what I want to share with you. This is what black belt recruiters do on LinkedIn, okay? So a Boolean search is nothing but a simple search string. So if you want to search for somebody, say for lead generation or business development, don't just type business development because that is not going to give you the exact result. There are so many other permutations and combinations that you can work on and you can find other candidates based on this. I want to share with you a video by this guy called Johnny Campbell. Okay. And if you've heard of Social Talent in this room, okay, that's a very good resource which all of you can go to, socialtalent.co. This guy called Johnny Campbell, he's a black belt social media recruiter. And he has a lot of videos on his YouTube channel where he talks about some of these techniques. How do you use these Boolean search strings to find leads? So I'm going to share with you one of his videos. Okay. So let's just go. Okay. Let's start with the 5 tips. Then I'll share with you that video. The first step is to use Boolean search string. Okay, learn how to use or create these different search strings for different job positions. The second thing is, second tip on LinkedIn is to align your company pages to your employee value proposition. So the company page information should all be in sync with what they're looking for, especially even in the careers page. Number 3 is Dell did this very interesting thing. All the employees in their organization, they actually had on-brand employee profiles. So they actually had profile pics with the background, with the logo. And so it was actually unified across the organization, which actually helped increase the visibility. Tip number 4 is you can use groups to think about what members need. Okay, for example, here you don't create a group about your company, but let's say you are searching for a top sales professional. You can actually create a group called top 1% sales professionals and invite all different sales professionals and start a few conversations and threads. And then you'll actually get to know over a period of time that who would be the right person that you want to get. It's a longer term strategy, It's a strategy which I call as like bridge marketing. You may not get them immediately, but you want to create a group where they can engage in, and then you can find them within that group. Okay. So groups like alumni groups, startup groups, CSR groups, unbranded skill or interest groups, you can even create those kind of groups, and then you can use groups you can message or mail the members once in a week using the group strategy. Okay.
So it's like farming them first and then
Farming
harvesting.
them first, exactly. Still echoing. So I actually did this even for one of my friends, okay, not in the recruitment space, I'm talking about in the marketing space. He runs a travel company in Sholapur, back in India, and they do these different package tours to Shirdi Sai. So he came to me and he said, Sid, can you help me promote my tour packages? So on Facebook, we set up a fan page, Shirdi Sai Baba fan page. You know, some of you would have heard of this. Yeah, Shirdi Sai is a very famous religious figure. So it grew to 70,000 fans in 6 months. You know, in India, religion and politics, it really works on social media. So grew to 70,000 fans, and after 6 months, he started posting package tours to Shirdi Sai. So now he actually has a business model on that page. This is an example of getting the community together first and then selling to them later. Similarly, you can use the same thing. Use groups to get the right skill sets together first, create a lot of conversations, ask open-ended questions, see who responds better, and you can maybe find some gems from inside that. Okay. So, and keep driving the conversations.
So will the other people also be able to put up their own ads? Somebody may...
Yeah, it has to be moderated well. You cannot get people to just spam and put in their stuff. So it should mention very clearly in the group rules that this is only for value. There's no selling allowed in this group. The other thing you can do is you can integrate, apply with LinkedIn on your career site. You can actually just search for this button. You can add this button onto your career site if you want. So it will actually pull all the data from LinkedIn, all the information from there. So let's get into Boolean search. This is one of my favorite things. In fact, I don't use this for recruiting that much because we're not a recruitment company, but we use this a lot for finding the ideal, connections and clients for our own business. Okay. So you can look at this, quite interesting.
So first off, typically what you're finding a good black belt doing is making sure that they fully understand the job spec. And to do that, they take a complete spec from the hiring manager or their client, making sure that they understand all the needs required here. So I'm just going to give you an idea of what a black belt will do to start this off. So the first thing is to have a look at the type of penetration tester. And then you might look at something, a location, for example, I will look at London as a location here, and you might have somebody who has some security qualifications, as background maybe as a hacker, etc., etc. Maybe has worked within the security industry, or some of the top competitors within that industry. So you get an idea of what the spec is, and a black belt builds their search on Notepad or an open format that doesn't have any formatting to try and understand what Boolean strings they're going to need. If they already have Boolean strings to hand, they'll use them to quickly build this rather than researching from scratch, and then adjust as necessary. And I'll show you how that applies in a second. But you may have a role like this you've never recruited before, and this applies to any type of job you guys are recruiting for. To break it into its constituent parts and think of synonyms. So one thing we discussed last week at the Sourcing Summit was the power of synonyms. Now Boolean is a simple language, and or not, quotes, brackets, and minuses, whatever it might be. The real power is in your synonym research, and making sure you're thinking of all the different words somebody could use to describe the same skill, title, location, attribute, whatever that might be. And that's the art of recruiting. It's that softer side. What are the words, that research element. So one of the great places we start, we look at penetration tester. First of all, is to say there's two parts of this. There's a penetration part, there's a tester part. Understand the different words we can use to try and figure out what is what. So the easy place to start is Wikipedia. Going into Google and saying Wiki penetration testing, for example, brings up penetration test as an article in Wikipedia. This allows us to see from a set website that lists information about each topic, word, etc. And we find Wikipedia fantastic here. You can get great ideas of other synonyms. So for example, a penetration test, a Paisley pen test. Our first synonym of the day is pen test. And basically the Boolean searcher, or the black belt, is going to start building out all the different ways to say these things. So pen test, We go through this, attack on a computer, process involves an active analysis. So we start really curious to understand the other job titles this could have. So security audit, so it could be somebody who does security. So we could say somebody's pen test or security, and then tester, and then obviously we go testing, tested, audits, so all the different synonyms there, the basic easy ones. So full security audits, the payment card industry data security standard, PCI DSS. We might put that as a job type as well. Look for the standards in here. So the Information Assurance Certification Review Board, so IACRB, all things that mean somebody's working within this area. And then Certified Penetration Tester, a CPT. So you can put CPT in here, and you'd also put up the second line because that allows one person to have that one acronym covering both words. And you go down, look at some of the software they use, which would imply, again, if somebody's using Metasploit, W3AF, it implies that they are doing this job, etc., etc. And you also see things like black box, backtrack, IT risk, related words that we think might give an indication somebody is a hacker. So where else can we go from here, okay? So you can look at the list of network penetration testing software, which is pretty good. Nice external link to give you a full list of the software this person could be using. But usually a LinkedIn black belt will go on to LinkedIn itself and go to linkedin.com/skills. There used to be a page you'd find under the old war book. Now you have to type that into the URL. And you can actually put in something like penetration testing here. So penetration testing comes up under this list of things we could use for penetration testing, for the word penetration. We open that up and we find to the left-hand side a list of keywords that are related to penetration testing. And as we know, or should know, and definitely if you're a black belt, you'll know, LinkedIn used this tool, or build this tool by looking at everybody on the whole network of 242 million profiles who has the phrase penetration testing anywhere, not just doing this here, but anywhere, and tries to find patterns of other phrases they tend to have as well, using an algorithm that does this automatically. Hence why it's been in beta or beta for the last 2.5 years. So we can further build our search strings here by looking at the other keywords that this person might have. So we look at things like core impact, work suite, what is that, web application security, exploit, secure code review, attack and penetration, threat modeling, loads of different things that can put different ways to say the same type of skill. How it impacts your search results is like follows, as follows. If I was to do a normal search on LinkedIn for someone like, let's say, penetration tester as a current job title in the UK. So leave it open. Don't forget to click your third and everyone else unless you're using your recruiter account. Press search. You'll see how many people there are. 144. Alright, so that's a good start. So we might look at Jeff here and have a look at Jeff and see what he's like. But we'll also check out on the side the people also viewed section. So here we get an idea of people who probably are similar to Jeff, because people who view Jeff tend to look at these people. And you see a lot of them have the same title, penetration tester, but security consultant, so the title pops up here, also pops up here, security geek. Okay, so we're getting different ideas of the type of synonyms we could be using to try and find these people. So again, we look at things like security, and we look at tester, or consultant, or geek, for example. So we're expanding out all those different keywords to try and find someone who has the right experience. So that's how one way we might do it. We'll also perhaps look at some of the similar profiles. So if we're going back in here and looking at our search results, we might look at Jeff here and use a similar tool in LinkedIn and taking within the results on similar, and LinkedIn will go off and run a similar algorithm and try and find people who have similar skills according to how that algorithm is built, looking at keywords, etc. And we see IT security consultant, penetration tester obviously popping in a lot. Here, security consultant popping up a lot. Security engineer, there's a good one. Test consultant. Okay, so we have a look there and say, we can think of engineer, let's build that out. And we have test consultant. Okay, so test consultant, we have consultant here, tester, yeah, we're okay on that, okay? So we've got different variants and different ways to approach it. The big thing is that a good black belt keeps looking and working those synonyms. Because you have to get into the mind of your candidate to understand what ways they use to describe themselves. And if I take, for example, a search we prepared earlier, Here's what we have in the bag that had penetration, pen, vulnerability, stress, hacker, hack, security, secure, hack, coder, pen test. And then we've got all these different tester, architect, engineer, etc. We can run a search with the variance of the first job keyword in the job title and the second keyword in the job title. And when we rerun our search, we go from, I'll pull back here and show you the original search results we had, 143. If I was to reset that and go with a brand new search, I'll show you what we can get in our advanced search. We change our keywords here and keep it on first, second, group, third, so we're covering everybody. Run that search again, and instead of the 143 we first found, we now find 16,000 people. So, and this is kind of what it means to be a black belt. You get more from LinkedIn by thinking like a candidate, knowing how to research, and we give a universal search method in our training. It shows people how to actually think about building up synonyms. We have rules about 7 or 8 different ways to approach synonym research, and then sites and tools to use to do that. But you're finding an increasingly expanding amount of people vastly better using something like LinkedIn. Your colleague who has LinkedIn Recruiter are paying a lot of money, lots of connections, gets no additional value from that unless they can think like a candidate, unless they can do the research and know what keywords to use. And don't get me wrong, not all of these individuals will be right. For example, we've got some recruiters in here, but we filter those people by, for example, minusing recruitment, recruiter, recruiting, talent, and we add other criteria such as we'll go back and say, is there software required here? So someone can check background, or they have a qualification, or they have some sort of standards within security to try and narrow these down. And we'll know to then take some of these keywords and put them in the overall keyword section to further filter this, because they don't just expand their searches to find more people. Great black belts filter it down to people who are just perfect, who have exactly the type of skills, training, qualifications, certification that are required for this job. Again, that goes back to old-fashioned communicating with the hiring manager or their client to understand what those exact needs are, so you can really narrow down who these people are and get the right individuals. And then filter out by getting rid of people from sales background. For example, their title, you might say sales, get rid of those guys, recruitment, maybe get rid of some of the directors, etc. So again, filtering down so that you get a nice controllable, manageable number of search results that are of high quality. So when you get those search results, we decide, let's say 169 people who are fairly competent in doing this job, we decide how we filter them. So of course you're probably going to pick a location closest to where you're recruiting, so that might be London. And we look at a 34-year in London, and then we might just look up who they work for. So we use these faceted filters on the left-hand side. If, for example, see that within our search, there's 2 from PwC, 2 from UBS, 2 from Acumen, 2 from Deloitte, 1 from Verizon, etc. And you might want to look at the 2 UBS employees straight away, because perhaps you're in banking, and that's the best match in terms of the fit for your role. And you'll look at Miles, and you look at Zombo like that. So whatever way you want to do it. So they know how to filter the searches to get down to the perfect amount, and they know how to prioritize the results. A different way of looking at your filters, rather than just looking at perhaps the location or looking at the employers, you might look at where they went to school. So you might say, we'll leave all these locations in here, and we'll leave all the employers in here as well. And what we'll do is we'll try and filter by the school they went to. So we'll go down here, look at the school, expand that out, and we can add all the London-based schools. And the logic that if you've gone to school in London, perhaps you'll be interested in returning to London. Then London's probably a bad example. We might want to try and find people who've gone to Glasgow. So where I am this week, in Glasgow starting the week, I'll be in Budapest tomorrow at True Budapest. So if you're looking for something to follow, the hashtag True Budapest tomorrow, Thursday. If you're watching the recording, try and see if there's anything back on Twitter, but tomorrow you'll find stuff. So I can just find the Glasgow-based schools, or the schools or universities that have keywords in Glasgow. I can add them to my filters there. If there's no one there, there's no one there. That might be another way of trying to filter the search and do what you need to do, even on a free account.
So how many of you found this interesting? Yeah? So just having LinkedIn Recruiter is not the key. Is to do a lot of this research, especially on synonyms, then feed it with LinkedIn Recruiter, and then you can really zero down to who you want. So this is the way that the modern recruiters are doing it. You can go and check out Social Talent, like I said. Go and check out his social media, his YouTube channel. He's got a lot more videos on how he searches using Facebook, using Twitter, There are so many different strategies that there are. Okay, so let me just check what's next on this. Okay, so we're running short of time. I thought I'd cover a little bit about Facebook, but I'll anyway share those links with you. But I just want to go straight into a few predictions in the social media space. Okay, from 2015 and beyond. There's a lot of changes that are happening in the space also. Okay? So there are 25 predictions. I'm not going to cover all of them, but I'll just give you some idea of how social media is going to change over the next few years. First prediction is video is on the rise. And a recent stat that I pulled up, did you know that Facebook video views have exceeded YouTube video views? This is a recent stat. Many of you would have noticed on Facebook, as soon as you're scrolling a news feed, the video automatically starts playing. Then when you click on it, then the audio comes. So a lot of people are uploading videos directly into Facebook, not putting it on YouTube and getting it back into Facebook. So this is like a trend right now. Next prediction is SlideShare is also on the rise. So SlideShare is going to become the YouTube for business. More and more business to business type of companies are going to use this platform for more visual marketing. In fact, you can embed YouTube videos inside your SlideShare presentations. Okay, so especially if you have jobs, job descriptions, you can even create them more visually appealing using SlideShare. And you can share it directly to the potential candidates. Okay. White papers, blogs, YouTube video embeds. Prediction number 8, I'm just going to jump. I'll give you the link where you can see all the 25 predictions. There's going to be some big innovations in tech, hardware. Okay. And why I'm sharing this with you all is that, as HR professionals or as recruiters, you need to think about where the industry is going and look at how we can, get in front of them. Facebook has actually bought this company called Oculus VR. Any of you heard of Oculus VR before? Okay. Are you a gamer?
No, I just learned about the takeover.
You all learned about the takeover. Oculus VR is a virtual reality headset. They actually made that. But just check this out. It's quite interesting.
I'm Diane Felsom, and this is Megabyte for gadget geeks who love their gizmos. There's big tech news from big tech. Social media powerhouse Facebook is buying Oculus VR, the virtual reality headset company, for a whopping $2 billion. The main hook for Facebook is to give social media users a highly interactive experience. Said CEO Mark Zuckerberg, Oculus has the potential to be the most social platform ever. Imagine sharing not just moments with your friends online, but entire experiences and adventures. Pretty cool.
Okay. So if any of you thought getting addicted to your handset is something, just wait till this comes. Okay.
I think there's the same one which has a tie-up with Samsung.
No, I'm not sure if it's this, but Oculus, they were into gaming and things like that. But Facebook has bought over for enhanced social experience now. Immersion in social media. You can actually go virtual reality experience of social networks.
It's there in the market. It's there in the market.
Which one? No, the headset is available, but I'm saying Facebook is strategically tying up with them for social media and enhancements. Okay, so you'll see this rolling out more often, in the next year also. Okay. So this is the one. There's going to be innovation in tech hardware. Number 9 is it's all about two-way street. Brands are going to bridge the gap between themselves and the consumers. So previously, social media was used a lot just to like broadcast media, just posting and then expecting things to happen from the other side. But now Facebook is also monitoring response rates, and if your response rate is really quick, you get badges and icons on Facebook on the fan page. Okay. Number 13 is interaction. Fans demand personal interaction, and they want to know more for the people behind the logo. So even as recruiters, if the recruiters who are on the fan page, say on Facebook, for example, they should be really fast at responding back. There is an app called Work4, WORK number 4, which you can actually install into your Facebook fan page, and you can actually get people, you can extract data from their Facebook profiles, and you can put them on your list of candidates also. If anyone wants to apply, they can apply from Facebook, from within Facebook. They don't have to go out your your landing page or your job description or your job portal. So there are many companies doing this where the brands are coming out and talking about different concepts. Okay. Prediction number 21 is messaging has taken a whole new, it's moved into a whole new world right now. All of us can't live without WhatsApp, and there are a few companies like Slack. Any of you have heard of Slack before? Okay, it's a brand new, it's a pretty cool concept. Imagine WhatsApp use for our personal use, but imagine like having a WhatsApp for business. And this is going to be the future in the social space, where there's not going to be much of email anymore. I'm saying 2-3 years from now, it's all going to be short messages and using this. Check this out.
Is there any such
Yeah.
sites like WhatsApp limits to the group of 100?
Yeah.
Now suppose we want to extend it to 500 or 1000. Is there?
Yes, you have Telegram, which is another app which can allow you more than I think up to 200 people in a group.
Yeah.
But then this is what you want to consider if you want to use. There's an app called HipChat, and there's one more called Slack. Just check this out. Here you can actually have different rooms, different groups, and things like that.
Okay, so 6 months ago, I get an email from Stuart Butterfield. He wants to talk about making a video for his new thing, Slack. It would change the way teams communicate. It would change the way teams communicate. I told him my company runs entirely on email and Dropbox, and we were doing just fine.
Yeah, I guess we had a system. I would email with Adam and text with Shady. JP and I would GChat.
And I would mostly hold my meetings in the utility closet.
And I was new, so I didn't talk so much.
This wasn't sustainable if I wanted my company to grow. Something had to change. So yeah, we tried Slack.
Slack lets us do all our communication in one place. It's like combining multiple forms of messaging and file sharing into one app. Adam's pretty much in love with it.
You make channels in Slack, which is perfect for discussing specific topics and groups, depending on who needs to be in on the conversation.
Let's try one a little less goofy.
Can't do that.
One thing I like is that we can send all kinds of documents right in the app. We can just drag and drop.
Slack integrates with Dropbox, which is amazing because we use Dropbox for everything.
Slack supports lots of other integrations too, everything from Asana, Google Hangouts, Jira, Papertrail, Pingdom, Pivotal Tracker.
A link to an audio player like SoundCloud extends inline, so listening to it couldn't be easier.
AppSignal, Bitbucket, Bugsnag, BuildBox.
Slack just looks really cool, like something you'd actually want to use. And with the mobile app, we can Slack anywhere, from home, at the office, even.
I like that Slack always keeps my place. I can switch from my laptop to my mobile, and I never miss a thing. Is this your card?
Yes, what I love about Slack is how it connects the team with direct lines of communication, business.
He uses it to send funny pictures.
I use it to send funny pictures.
Linux, MailChimp, Reamaze, Stripe, CodeShip, GitHub.
And Adam loves it. His inbox is loaded, and he can easily keep tabs on everyone's projects. Slack really has changed the way his team communicates, and all this open, efficient communication keeps his company happy, which makes Adam happy too.
So this is the future, and I'm sure as recruitment team, instead of just having a WhatsApp group, imagine having a Slack. It's an app on the desktop, there on all your smartphones. You can do a lot more collaboration, sending profiles, files between each other, and everything is on it's like an official property. You can have it on your own domain also, like a company name .slack.com. So our company, we have actually completely shifted into another system like Slack called HipChat. So all our clients and all our teams, they interact together, and it makes the communication much easier. So why I'm sharing this with you is that a lot of changes are also happening in the social media space with these new technologies coming in. Okay, you can actually note down this link if you want to get to see all the 25. It's one of my YouTube videos that I've explained, all the different 25 different emerging trends in social media. So it's bit.ly/2015-social media. You know that now. Or you can just take a snap on your phone. Okay, so we have come to the end of it. I just want to recap some key ideas for the group today. One is use Slack or WhatsApp to unify your collaboration. Number two is share your top profiles and candidates for your team members. Every team member can enhance their personal profiles on social media. Let's get your LinkedIn profile, all of those optimized. And you can connect with other members within the organization on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. Okay. Some action points are these. Okay. Boolean search strings on LinkedIn. I'm sure all of you found that to be probably something that you can take away and start implementing right now. Use Facebook ads and graph search, because that's also another way you can use search. At the segment you go and see social talent to see how to use Facebook graph search for recruitment. You can connect with other bloggers to attract candidates. Use LinkedIn Recruiter. Use Twitter hashtags. Use even hashtags to find the right people who are talking about a particular subject. And create value and social proof on all the different social media platforms. Okay, so just to the group, we're going to end in maybe the next 3-4 minutes. What are your top takeaways? Not top 3, maybe one big takeaway. Can I just have any one of you share? Slack, okay.
Boolean search.
Boolean search.